All right, it has been a week since I started creatine, and I kind of wanted to update you on, what my experiences have been. Yes, after a week, you don't see that much, or basically you shouldn't see anything at all. I get to that in just a second. But I still wanted to give you a short little update. Especially maybe for you that are in the same boat and want to try it as well and want to know what happens in the first week. Maybe let's start out first why I'm taking this. And more importantly, I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a fitness expert. I'm an enthusiast. I try to do as much for my body and therefore hopefully also for my mental health as much as I can. I train daily, but I probably don't train as efficiently as some of the, and I don't mean this disrespectful because I don't have a different terminology for that. I probably am not as efficient as those gym bros. Again, I'm not meaning this disrespectful. English is my second language. I don't know a better description of that. I am over 40, going to 50, and I want to take creatine for many benefits that I have been researching for a long time. I also have been to a doctor. I did some blood work. I double checked that it is okay that I take creatine. So my goal taking this when over 40 years, the older you get, the more muscle loss you will experience. And muscle loss also means higher risk of injury and longer recovery times. So taking creatine, supposedly, as far as I know, again, please don't quote me. I'm not a doctor. Please do your due diligence if you want to do this as well. Research first. But as far as I understand, there have been lots of scientific researches that creatine helps to prevent muscle loss in the older you get and therefore prevents you from injury a little bit better. And more importantly, also it helps in terms of recovery, not only, of course, in terms of recovery and having enough energy when working out, but this also goes the other way. If you don't work out, if you're injured, supposedly this also helps you to recover faster. Creatine works. This is something you have to take daily long term because creatine basically fills up your creatine reserves in your body and then basically starts to work. So you have to take this for a longer period of time. First, it goes into the muscles and basically it saturates your muscles and therefore it has been kind of known for the benefits when working out because it gives your muscles energy, you perform better, and your recovery is much faster when you are working out. But as soon as your muscle reserves have been saturated with creatine, there have been studies that show that there are a lot of cognitive benefits because basically your brain is a muscle as well. So as soon as your muscles are saturated and you give it a little bit more, so as far as I understand, the regular amount is 5 grams, and if you go to 10 grams or some along the lines of 10 grams, where I'm currently working up to, it kind of flows over to your brain capacity and it helps not only with your cognitive abilities, but there have been studies that helps this for Parkinson's, for Alzheimer, but also it has been a supporting role to help with depression because it gives you sorry about that. There was someone at the door. I got a package for a new bag review, so maybe check out. What was that? Did something fall down? Oh yeah. Sorry about that. By the way, my dog is a little bit sick. He had surgery on Monday, so he's recovering there. Anyways, I got a new bag for my main channel, so maybe also check out my main channel because there I do a lot of bag reviews. So creatine has been a supporting role with depression, but this also comes back to a little bit of what one of my previous videos said, something along the lines of ability is versus anxiety. So if your body, but also your mind is in a, in a position or strong enough to defend itself, it is your threshold of anxiety is a little bit higher than lower. So this is my explanation. This is not where I read it, but I feel like if your brain is more capable, your body is more capable, I feel like it helps with your anxiety or not getting too anxious too fast. And yeah, just seeing those cognitive benefits and kind of preventing muscle loss over the age, the older you get, is something that I was really interested about. So now let's go into what have been my experiences over these last 7 days. Again, please keep in mind, you shouldn't experience, as far as I understand, any benefits yet. Because as I said, creatine, your reserves in your body need to fill up first before you can actually see the benefits. Because once your body, your muscles are saturated with creatine, basically this overflows to your brain capacity. But what many people said in videos that I've been researching, after 3 to 4 weeks, you should see some changes. So what have been my experiences in the first week? Because you need to kind of fill up those reserves, there have been a lot of recommendations many years ago. Still some people do that, but it's basically, the decision is kind of split on the so-called loading phase. So some people kind of do a higher higher intake of creatine in the first week for this loading phase to kind of fasten the intake or the loading up of the reserves. So they, for example, take 10 to 20 grams of creatine in the first week to see the benefits faster, in the hopes for the result that because they take so much, that the reserves in your body, the creatine reserves, kind of fill up faster. But many people also say in the negatives, in the downsides, that taking so much kind of upsets your stomach. So and also even if you don't take it too much, some people say it can upset your stomach. So what I did is I wanted to kind of slowly ease myself in. I'm kind of doing the opposite of the loading phase. So in the first 3 days, I took 3 grams. And then in the last few days of these 7 weeks, I took 4 grams. Now, today I started with 5 grams. And I have to say this slow approach definitely did not upset my stomach. So in terms of nausea, upset stomach or something like that, I did not have any negative downsides with that. So if you ease into it, yes, maybe your benefits will show up much later, but I didn't experience any downsides in terms of my stomach. So that's the first thing that I noticed. The second thing that people are saying is that you gain a little bit of weight. The reason being is that creatine pulls water. But, and this is really important because there are a couple of misconceptions. People think, oh, okay, if I store water, I get bloated. And this is something that many people are afraid when they see it in combination with their weight kind of rising. But as far as I understand, the water that is being retained in your body is not the, in air quotes, bad water that you don't want to have in your body, but more a physical reaction that the creatine basically stores up in your muscles. And just like any, I think the terminology is osmosis. So when you have the powder, and this is not, please don't quote me on that, but if you have powder somewhere, it kind of sucks in water, right? So the creatine basically stores inside your muscles, and again, don't quote me on this, due to a process of osmosis, it pulls water into your muscles. But that is the kind of water that you want to have, because it kind of gives your muscles more definition, and that is what people that are working out are looking for, right? The bigger muscles that are looking better. And that's because the water is inside your, or is being pulled inside your muscles, and that gives it this better definition of the muscles. So within this 7 weeks, I did see some increase in weight, but it wasn't as much as I would kind of say, okay, is this from creatine, or is this because last night I ate lots of cookies? So I'm not 100% sure if that slight gain in weight was due to creatine or due to me eating a little bit over the last few days, because the last few days were a little bit stressful. As I said, Woody was in surgery, and then I was just like, okay, let's eat some chocolate at night. So I'm not 100% sure if the weight gain, and it was only 800 grams, so a pound. 1 pound about. So it wasn't that much. So I'm not too worried about that. And this could be, speaking of gaining, I'm not sure if this is just something that's in my head, but I do feel that my biceps has kind of gained a little bit more definition. I don't know if it's because of the creatine. I believe it's not, because after a week, I don't believe I should see something, but it feels like it. Next up, I did notice that, and this is something that people say a lot about creatine, if you are suffering from bad sleep, or you have jet lag because you're traveling a lot, people say, okay, take a little bit more of creatine, because it will help you to kind of help that sleep deprivation, because it gives you a little bit of an energy boost. What I noticed is, in this week, again, I am not sure if it's also due to the stress that we had with Woody, because we were a little bit worried about him. Not 100% sure, but I did notice that I slept like a baby. I slept really, really deep. I had extremely deep sleep, but when I woke up, I felt really groggy. You know that feeling when you, back when you were in school and you woke up and you were like, oh, I don't want to go to school. I'm so tired. I don't want to, that kind of feeling. It was really weird, because usually I just wake up and then I work out. And yes, I'm tired, but for 3 to 4 of these 7 days, I woke up and I knew I slept really deep. I had a deep, very deep sleep, but I woke up and I was like, oh my God, where the hell am I? And that was weird, because I didn't have that for a very long time. So again, I don't know if it is because of the creatine, but it was really weird to see that. Today was better. Maybe it was just in the initial phase of taking creatine, that it says like, okay, you're going to sleep now and you're going to recover really, really well. Because again, creatine's benefits are the recovery time. And maybe my body, this is just pure speculation, maybe my body recovered so well that it had a little bit of a hard time to kind of You know, when you start your car and it has been in the garage for a while and it's like and wants to start up and it doesn't start up first, but it was kind of like, oh, I'm in a warm garage and not in the snow outside. Maybe it's like that. I don't know. It's just speculation. But again, this is something that I just wanted to share what my experience has been for the first 7 days of taking creatine. Again, for me, it's not about the physical benefits of kind of getting muscular or anything. I do like the benefits of having more energy when sparring or when going to Muay Thai. I'm really looking forward to see what happens after the second and third week of taking this. But more importantly for me, it's to preparing my body in terms of muscle loss. The older I get, as soon as I hit 50, I really want to be sure that I don't lose too many muscles. And more importantly, I really like the idea of helping my cognitive abilities. And yeah, again, I will kind of check in after a month now, but I thought it was important to kind of share the first week. Let me know. Have you been taking creatine in the past? Are you taking creatine? Are you planning to? If you plan to, let me know if you've done your own research and what are your conclusions after doing the research. Are you going to take it or why you don't take it? Maybe that's also important as well. All right. If you have any questions about this, again, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I will try to kind of share what I've learned in my research. Let me know in the comment section below. And maybe check out the video where I talked about why I'm taking it up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. That way we see each other in the next video. Thank you very much.